The real reason that you're broke, burnt out, or stuck, or all of the above, and nobody wants to admit this, and that's kind of funny because people love talking about abundance mindset, abundance frequency. But the second life punches them in the mouth, which it always does, the abundance mindset disappears, the confidence disappears, the certainty disappears, the belief disappears, and then suddenly you're back to a state of scarcity, back to panic, back to fear, back to acting like everything that you built was an accident. Because here's a scary realization I had recently. If losing a result destroys your confidence, then your confidence was never real in the first place. It was rented. It was borrowed from the result. And that's a dangerous, dangerous way to live, because life will always take things from you. Life will always punch you in the face, whether it's money, relationships, opportunities, momentum, health, status. Sometimes you lose all of these things at once. And when it does, who are you really without them? Because that's the real question you need to be asking yourself. Not what you've built in the past, not what you've achieved in the past. Who built it and who achieved it? And if you're honest, most of the things that you're worried about in your life right now are all external. Money, followers, clients, business, relationships, friendships, validation. But none of these things are the things that created them. You created them. And the moment that you start to forget that, you start to lose your power and you become weak. And I had to learn this the hard way, because there were periods in my life where everything looked like it was falling apart. I was knee-deep in addiction, accidental overdoses, 20 grand in debt, no direction, no purpose, no future. And that's exactly how it felt at the time, but that actually wasn't the reality. And during that time, I convinced myself that if I could just change my circumstances, everything would start to be okay, which would mean more money, better opportunities, different people, different environment, different life. But I was looking in all the wrong places, because the circumstances weren't creating my life. My daily standards and my routines were, my habits were, my thinking was, my decisions were, my discipline was. And that's when everything started to make a real change. Not because life suddenly became easier, but because I realised that a lot of people never realise. The person who got me out was the same person who got me in all them shitty situations in the first place. And that was the man in the mirror, me. So I want you to think about that for a second. You can't keep acting like your future is controlled by external events, but your past success was created by external events. It all comes from a place within inside you. Persistence, resilience, adaptability, work ethic, creativity, courage, action. You had all those traits before any of the results in your life showed up. The results were just simply evidence of those traits, which means if you've created any level of success before, you can create it again and again and again in any and every area of your life, because the source isn't outside of you, it's inside of you. This is why so many people stay stuck, and when men come to work with me, we can unlock it all so quick, because you become obsessed with protecting what you've built instead of becoming the person who can build it repeatedly over and over again on command. There's a big difference, because one creates anxiety, the other creates freedom. Because if you're constantly terrified of losing everything, you'll end up becoming a prisoner of your own success. Because realistically, you don't own it. It owns you. And I see this absolutely everywhere. The businessman who's terrified his company will fail. The athlete who's terrified that his body will decline. The entrepreneur that will be terrified if the leads dry up. The man with the beautiful missus who's terrified that the relationship's going to end. The problem isn't the fear. The problem is you've forgotten the person who created the success in the first place. And that's you. And this applies directly to your body, your mind, and your money, which is all I talk about, alignment across body, mind, money. So let's start with your body, because you don't trust your body because you've broken too many promises to yourself, because you know exactly what to do. Train, walk, drink plenty of water, eat right,